What's up, everybody? You got the Iceman, interviews with the Iceman, the first video interview that we're doing. My man, PatchBaker. How are you, buddy? Thank you for having us, man. Top 40 new country countdown, man. You're making strides on the list. Your fans are going crazy, and just a pleasure to have you. Talk to me a little bit. Then we're gonna have some music, which is awesome. Some of his original stuff. So I got to tell you, I noticed that you're doing a lot of things out of the box. Music-wise, tell me about that. What makes you do it, and why, and the strides you're making?
Well, a lot of people say that you have to do things, one way, and it won't work any other way. And every time people say that to me, it just makes me say, well, watch this, And it's kind of like you're doing stuff out of the box too. So it's it does work. You just have to kind of have a goal, and you just chase it.
Right. You got to block out everybody out there and just listen. This is the way I'm going to do it. I don't care if no one else has done it before. Then we blaze our own trail. But I've noticed that. I just see a lot of that you're going on social media and the team you have, and it's just awesome the way you're building things up.
I'll tell you what, my social media team is amazing. I really have searched for another team that does what they do every day, and I can't find it. I mean, you just can't find the stuff that they do. It's amazing, and they're all. I push them to be, out of the box thinkers, and they've just embraced it and took off with it. Right. I mean, they're all amazing.
Well, that's how we've got acclimated, just from your team. And tell me, I mean, how many people do you have on your? What do you have on your team? Is it?
Well, I have 12 full-time admins that just, they run, they just run social media.
12.
Wow. And they come up with new things to get people involved, and I'm super thankful for them, because it's 24 hours a day, it seems. Right. They are all over everything. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Vine. Google Plus, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
It's funny, too, because a little bit with this interview, I figured rather than just sit here and read questions, we went to social media and we had people send questions in, and that's what I'm going to read to you, because you're so active with them. Why don't we? Well, can't read that one. No, I'm only fooling. They wanted it, and somebody sent in a question saying, you did this social media. Your social media has taken off in such a short period of time. What are some of your, successes to that? Besides just having the admins, are you doing anything differently there that you can share with us?
Well, we put out a small video. We started off with a cover just because we wanted to kind of give people an idea what genre I was going to be in. And as you knew, we did Bottoms Up. Right. It's on your top 40. And it really took off kind of from there. I've only been on social media since October. So we're talking about not even 3 months. Wow. And it really just took off. And then what happened was, it kind of spawned into other things. People would do little requests and stuff, and I would throw up a short video, and even if I left it up for a short amount of time and then pulled it back down, it just got people excited. And I'm telling you, I have the best fans because they talk. They legitimately talk to me. Right. We have interactions, and I try really, really hard to get to everybody. Yep. And it just exploded. It really did.
Man, I see that even with the top 40 chart. Your fans are just driving you right up the chart. And let me ask you, though, the song that's on there, Bottoms Up, what made you pick that? Was there a reason? Did you just, hey, I'm just going to do Bottoms Up, and it wound up just, taking off like that?
Well, Brantley Gilbert is a guy that I really look up to. He is, he's pushing the limits between country and that really rocky, grungy, dirty country, Right. And I really like that. Him and Brian Davis have worked together in the past, and Brian Davis is another huge influence, today's influence for me. And so I did Bottoms Up just because it was a song that was, fairly easy for me to play, and I had done it out, and you know, as I was gigging out and stuff, people really liked that song. I started, you know, doing it right when it came out, and it just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And people really like it, and I can't tell you how many people request me to play that song, you know.
No, it's weird because I played a song. That's the song I put on the top 40.
Yep.
And it seems it's just you got so much. Brantley, no disrespect to your brother, but there's so much of more emotion in you singing it. A funny story. I'm with my daughter in the car yesterday. I really don't listen to mainstream. And we put the radio on, and Bottoms Up came on. My daughter turns to me and goes, "Dad, why is that guy singing Patch's song? And it's not as good as his." I'm like, it's working.
Well,
you know, yeah,
it is. I mean, I'm a huge Brantley fan, so I'm excited that people like it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I kind of did a stripped down version of it,
Right.
So I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to sound exactly like him. I didn't want to do, you know, backing tracks, but just did a stripped down version of it, and it really took. So.
Yeah, it really did.
I'm excited.
Well, we're going to have you do 3 originals today.
Yeah.
We're going to do the first one. Tell me a little about the first song you're going to do, and you know, you got one of your guitar guys here, and let me know who that is, and we'll get you guys going.
Yep. Adam is a really good friend of mine, and this song is called Better Man.
Okay.
And I was, you know, away for a big part of my daughter's lives, and I've got 3 girls, and I was away from them a long time. And this song, when I got out of the military, this song was really special to me because I was away more than half of their lives, you know what I mean? And so I wrote this song because when I got out of the military and I came back, it was kind of hard to adjust, you know, being around and not being in the military anymore.
Right.
And so this song was all about trying to be a better man, trying to be a better dad. And it's really emotional for me to sing that song.
Great.
But I'll try to get through it.
I'm looking forward to it hearing your original. So we're going to take it. We got Adam, we got Patch, we have Better Man with the Iceman.
I was born and raised to live by the good book. Lord only knows the lengths that I took to be a better man, and I'm working on that. The book's on my bedside table, for better or worse, I'm willing and able to do my part, just like I'm supposed to do. 2 pair of boots sit by my door, one of them takes me off to war, the other I wear just about every day. These boots haven't always tried on walk around, make my own path the only way I found to be a better man, and I'm working on that. Lord only knows, He only knows I'm working on me. Lord only knows, He only knows I'm working on me. I went overseas like they told me to, did my duty for the red, white, and blue. My kids missed out each and every single day. I busted my ass and broke my back for the country I love. That's nothing back but the time I lost, and I'm working on that. Lord only knows, He only knows I'm working on me. Lord only knows, He only knows I'm working on me. Swear to God, I'm gonna do my best to make up for the time I missed. Give it all back, just like the kids want me to. I raise my kids the only way I know how, doing my best to figure it out. Be a better dad, and I'm working on that. Lord only knows, He only knows, 'cause I'm working on me. Lord only knows, He only knows, 'cause I'm working on me.
Oh, great song. Iceman with Patch Baker. Man, having a great time. I'm really excited to hear your originals. I'm really psyched. And let me ask you, when can we expect an album from you?
Probably late summer.
Late summer.
We're working really hard. So.
Right. And where you're going to be recording?
Well, I'm going to Nashville to record a couple of the tracks, and then I'm actually going to record a couple of tracks in Boston, believe it or not.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it's a lot of work, but we're getting through it.
Good.
So we wrote almost 100 songs for this album to be picked from. Wow. So I don't know. We'll see what comes out.
Tell me what success means. What it defines success in Patch Baker's words?
You know, I don't. Again, it's that whole outside of the box thing. I don't compare success like other people do sometimes. You know. Some people think you have to be on the radio to be successful. Some people say you need to make $1 million. Look, every day that I wake up and I get to do what I do and I get to have fun doing it is success to me. I mean, every single day, I mean, to me, this is a success sitting here with you.
For me it
is.
Know? Yeah, believe me. Yeah, definitely.
We've done other things together, and, you know, every time we get to go out and see people smiling and dancing and laughing and carrying on and having a good time, it's all success to me. So. It's kind of my take on it.
Getting up and doing what you love. That's the big thing. You know, that's when you can get up and do what you love, that's success. When you can make a lot of money off of it, you know, that makes it more enjoyable. But to get up and do what you love is actually the biggest thing. Now, like I said, questions are pouring over. Somebody's asking, is there a musician that you would enjoy recording a song with? Any genre. If there's anybody, is there anybody that you could think of that you would like to record with?
Brian Davis.
Yeah.
Brian Davis, hands down. He's just one of those guys that, I mean, I've hung out with him several times, and, you know, we just, you know, hit it off. He's a really, really awesome guy. I mean, not just on stage, but off stage. He's just a really, really awesome guy. So get to do something with him would be pretty awesome.
Well, see, Brian Davis, I'm sure his people are going to see this. So now we got to make that matchup for you.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah, Brian... He wants to do something. Let's make that work, man. What is the, you know, with country music, even when you started it, and even we said Brian now, but who did you look up to when you knew you wanted to get into country music? What are some of the artists, either way back or now, that you kind of look up to? And
yeah, I believe it or not, I started out the first recollection that I have of music that I listened to over and over and over is my grandma got me a copy of The Gambler. It was a record, you know, Kenny Rogers, The Gambler, and the song The Gambler was big for me, but Tennessee Bottle was the first song that really, really got me, you know. And I've listened to, you know, Waylon and Willie and the Boys, you know.
Yep.
But I stuck with them. And then, you know, as time went on, I switched over and, you know, big Garth fan. George Strait. I mean, you can't love country music and not love George Strait. Right. So I got onto those. And, you know, I really have always been a country music, you know, fan, and not just of the people that we know, but, you know, smaller people, you know. Eric Williams, a huge, underground guy, but his music is phenomenal.
Right.
So.
Wow. Okay. And you mentioned a little about the inspiration for the song that you sang. Where do you draw a lot of the songs that you're writing now, the 100 that you have? What kind of inspiration are you drawing? Is there a motivator? Is there something is it all different things? Is it the moment that you're in?
Yeah, I mean, it's all different. I can do, I don't always get through full songs either, Right. I might write one line and, 6 months from now it turns into a song. I've written songs off of people's poems. They'll write a poem and then I'll turn it into a song. I've written songs just, in writers' rounds. Somebody will say, I got this idea, but I can't make it work. Or, I'll go to them and say, look, I got this hook, but I just can't get it in there.
It's funny you say that because we were over at the event over the weekend, and you're collaborating with another artist, and he's trying to say, well, what about this song? And he goes, I got something for you. And you're going back to him, and he's no, we got to get together.
Yeah, and we went straight to Google. We were like, hey, has this been done?
Right, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, it just kind of happens like that. And it's if you get around other writers and other musicians, it just kind of happens. If you if you allow it to happen, it'll happen. And sometimes you come out with really good stuff, and sometimes you come out with not so good stuff. But it's okay, it's running the numbers.
No. All right. So now that we're talking about that, let me know. And we're not on regular radio, we're on the internet, so you can kind of get a little edgy. Where was the weirdest place you ever thought of a song lyric that you used? The strangest. You can.
Yeah.
Not to get too personal, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, I sing almost every day in the shower.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm not singing in the shower is if I'm taking like a 30-second shower, after the gym. But, I'm always singing in the shower, so that's probably...
All right, cool.
I get a lot of songs from the shower.
Hey, if it works, it works. All right, we're going to have another song you guys are going to play. Which one is it?
This one's called She Walked On. Okay. And my buddy Rick, he wrote a poem. It was about his dad getting lost in a snowstorm. And I changed it up a little bit, but the song is based off of that poem.
Okay.
And this one's really, really special for me because this one has all the elements of a really, really good song. And I'm hoping this one eventually goes pretty far.
Okay, great. Well, here it is. Patch Baker playing some music. What a treat. You got the Iceman.
Friday night dance inside Doug Clayton home. It's been a pleasant year and a perfect fall. A storm blew in, but they said it would pass. These early year blizzards that never last. As the snow was slightly blowing when he got on his horse. But a few miles later the weather turned worse, and he dropped the reins and let the angels take over. Look over his shoulder for the ride, and he started to pray and asked the Lord to watch over, give her the strength to carry on. And she walked on. The squall so thick they could not see. The storm was blowing sideways, wind and sleet. Turn around now would probably be best, but a view so bad he couldn't tell east from west. As the storm grew stronger, he was covered in frost. But a few miles miles later, the weather turned worse, and he dropped the rain. And let the angels take over, looked over his shoulder for the ride, and he started to pray. And asked the Lord to watch over, give her the strength to carry on, and she walked on. The temperature fell, but his faith stayed strong. He prayed for them both as she moved through the storm. Touched her neck, said head for the bone. She picked up the pace as they headed for home. As the air grew colder, he was covered in frost. But a few miles later, the weather turned worse, and he dropped the rain. Let the angels take over, look over his shoulder for the ride, and he started to pray. And asked the Lord to watch over, give her the strength to carry on, and she walked on. Stumbled through the storm, but she carried his weight. She stopped short and he felt a hitch in her gait. He swung down from the saddle, cause he thought they were done. But his leg hit the fence and he knew they were home. Every man's got an answer for the choices he's made. Good Lord and a lady, you can always find your way, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back. That was Patch Baker. She Walked On. I got to know a little about that song because I think that's going to be the first original song that is released by you. I like it a lot. Tell me a little more about it.
So when I wrote the song originally, I wanted to tell a story, but I came up with this pretty cool idea, I think. I wanted to make the guy in the story make a mistake. He walks out in the snow and he should have stayed where he was. And then the second thing I wanted to do was get the listener to fall in love with the horse, because I grew up, I was born around horses, and they were a big part of my life. So I wanted him to fall in love with the horse, and so I tried to paint that picture. And then at the end, I wanted the horse to, kind of save the day and just walk home, Right. But the chorus was really about, a guy that when he gets himself in trouble, he's not afraid to, look up and be like, hey, need some help,
right.
And then it's kind of a play on words, but, I made the horse a girl so that I could say, he was praying for her too. And at the very end, I completely flip it and say, with the good Lord and a lady, you can find your way. And I believe that's true. I believe that, when you got a good woman and you got the Lord on your side, pretty much do anything.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Guys are, you know, we'll get ourselves in trouble if
a little bit, huh?
Yeah, we will
You
get
think
ourselves
so?
in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. It was fun to write that song too. Some songs are not fun to write. They're, you know, you're struggling really hard to get to them, but that was a fun song to write.
Okay, cool. And you mentioned a little about, you know, where you were from and everything. Why don't you tell us a little about, because you got a lot of fans out there, and I know they see your interaction day to day and what you're going up music, but what about growing up? Where did you come from, and little about what got you, a little condensed version of what got you to where you are? Well,
I was born in Virginia in the Shenandoah Valley, you know, big horse country, and I spent a lot of time in the mountains and, you know, hunting, fishing. Kind of always been around music. My mom was a music major, and she played in a local church and played piano and organ and stuff. And I kind of just through her, she was big into theater and stuff like that, and just through her, started singing in church when I was very young, and then started doing some acting, and you know, I did that all the way through my teenage years, and then I kind of went away from it, you know, did the whole military thing, and that doesn't really lend to a music career, you know. So I did that, but I was always still, you know, I was always singing, always. I was just, you know, one of those guys that cranks it up in the car and, you know, jams out.
Yep.
If there's no radio to be had, I'd sing in the corner. I don't really care, you know.
Right.
And, finally, it just got to that point in my life. I was like, look, I'm going to have to do it if I'm going to do it. And here we are.
Right. No, that's cool. And we got another song coming up, but I want you to, you know, I do a lot for the new music artists. Man, that's my passion. But you're doing things out of the box. And if there's any advice you can give to the new artists that are trying to get out there and trying to, you know, maybe even playing by the rules that you're not, give them, what advice would you give to those artists that are just trying to break through it and do what they love? Is there any one or two things that you would tell them?
Well, I will say this. I will say that music in itself changes. I mean, it always changes. And I think the business always changes. And there are some things that you have to do in order to be successful in music. But we know a lot of people that are great musicians that make extraordinary music that don't make it. And what everybody thinks making it is.
Right.
But I think in order for you to make it, you just have to be able to spread a message. Really. I mean, really, what else do you have to do in music? You know, 3 chords and the truth, spread a message that everybody likes, you know? But I know people that can't sing a lick, some of my favorite artists, you know, this is probably going to be really bad, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way. But you know, there's a big difference between Frank Sinatra, Whitney Houston, and Kid Rock. Right. Kid Rock, you won't say he's a musical or he's a vocal powerhouse, but everybody loves him, and they love him for a reason. You know, he knows what his strong suits are, and he knows what they aren't, and he doesn't try to be, you know, this vocal powerhouse. I don't think that you need to do that anymore. I think you need to be able to connect with people, and I think you need to be able to have somebody turn on the radio and just throw down to your songs, you know?
There you go.
And I think if you tell good stories and you have something that people, you know, connect with, I mean, you've seen videos online that people just blow up and it's taken on somebody's phone, you know?
Exactly.
You know, somebody captures some street musician or something, and it's just amazing. They didn't do that in a studio. They did it like full tilt on the street. And by the way, I did get to play on Bourbon Street. Louisiana. Yeah, I went down there, and it was on the bucket list, and I totally did it, and I rocked it.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Always do. Well, we got one more song we're going to play of yours, and we're going to take it out from that song. So before we go into it, why don't you tell me a little about the third song that we're going to be you're going to be performing for us?
2 Armed Guards and Money Truck. It's it's not really a acoustic-based song, but I wanted to do it anyway. Adam and I are going to do it for you. And again, a buddy of mine, Rick, he wrote, a poem, and he kind of wrote it as to be a song, which is a little bit easier to, actually create. But this one, we flipped it and turned it and changed it up, and really, I think we came up with something that, with the full band, it just rocks. I mean, it's a catchy song.
Two Armed Guards and a money truck.
Who doesn't want to?
No, man. I'm wondering what could that be about? I'll tell you, man. I appreciate you coming and having us on, and we're gonna end it. Patch Baker. I'm dying to hear this song. Two Armed Guards and a money truck.
In the car at the moment of truth, you looked at me and I looked at you. We hit the truck with everything we had. First start curve just out of town. I shot the tire when they slowed down. You popped the dope, we grabbed the K. We hit the car like Luke and Bo do. You stomped the gas, they started to shoot. I shot back, but they had more guns. Two armed guards and a money truck. Should have been easy, but it ain't our luck. We didn't spend a dime, cause it all went south when the first guard died. We didn't spend a dime, cause it all went bad when a good man died. It seemed like a plan till it all went bad. Went far worse than we ever planned. Got a little sideways when a man fell dead. I grabbed the wheel cause it didn't make sense. Done put the car through a barbed wire fence. I banged up and you smashed your head. Two armed guards and a money truck. Should have been easy, but it ain't our luck. We didn't spend a dime cause it all went bad when the first guard died. Didn't spend a dime cause it all went bad when a good man died. Yeah! On the road just a little too late. Too many cops got in the chase. We done wrong, there ain't no doubt. Judge said your brother kinda got away, but you're gonna pay till Judgment Day. You were long gone by the time they pulled you out. Two armed guards and a money truck. Should have been easy, but it ain't our luck. We didn't spend a dime cause it all went south when the first guard died. Now I'm doing time cause it all went bad when a good man died. Yeah!
Well, thank you. I love it, man. I appreciate you and Adam playing the music. It was an honor to have you here. And one last thing. Why don't you tell us about, because you're so big in social media, where can the fans find you? Your social media is just growing every day. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, first, thank you for having me. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And what you do for the new guys coming up,
Thank you.
is very special.
Thank
so
you.
Thank you very much.
It's because of guys like you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
PatchBaker.com and Facebook.com/PatchBakerMusic. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter, where you're huge. I want to be just like you when my Twitter account grows up. But everything's PatchBakerMusic. And again, man, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care of
Appreciate
yourself,
it.
buddy.